it's your girl Whitney. So excited to be chatting with you today because I have a very special guest with me.
Hello.
Next to me, I have Emily. Emily is a friend of mine. She is amazing. I met her at the University at Buffalo when I was going to school. We had a mutual friend named Tony, so shout out to Tony for making us friends. Today we're going to be talking about tips that you should know.
Whether you're like me and you didn't have a job lined up after college,
or you're like me and you're about to start your new job. If you're excited to know what these tips are, hit that like button and let's dive in.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honestly so excited to be here. I feel like your channel has just been this vessel of information. It's so valuable and I'm like excited to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me because I literally was like, I want this video to be valuable to anybody no matter what their situation is. And I just knew that you would have a really great story to tell and I wanted to convey that on my channel. So I'm so honored to have you in this video.
Thanks. My first tip after graduating college is enjoy the time off. You just put in so much time, not only for the past 4 years of your life, but the past 12 years before that, working hard, keeping your grades up. When you're gonna graduate and you don't have a job yet, it can be discouraging, but it also can be a blessing in disguise because now you finally have time to have a job, like a waitressing job or a retail job where you can get time off and you can go visit your friends in other states and you can go to a concert in a different city on a Tuesday night and not have to worry about being up at 8 in the morning. So it really is like the time for you to relax and take time for yourself and just enjoy yourself and enjoy your friends and enjoy going out on the weekends and just making the most of the time that you have and just start doing things that you love until the right opportunity comes along for you because it is worth it to just wait and enjoy and not rush into anything that is not the right fit for you.
My first tip was to enjoy the time off as well. So speaking from a standpoint of having had my job lined up right as I was graduating college, when I was in college, I was constantly doing things all the time, working a lot. Internships, student assistant positions, just really trying to boost up my resume a lot in every respect that I could. And I'm notorious for doing too much, signing myself for too many things. I go way too hard and then I have too many things and then I need to quit something. This has been like an ongoing cycle. So having had that crazy schedule when I finished graduating and I started working, I actually found that I had a lot of free time just because I had been doing so much. It was different for me. As soon as I finished, I wasn't doing anything anymore. I just would go to work and I would come home. But then I decided I wanted to try and get into more stuff, and then as I just said, like I did too much and I was signing up for volunteering and doing YouTube and doing all these crazy things, and my schedule was so hectic. So I want to definitely tell you to enjoy the time off while you can, and if you want to start to ease into things and start picking up hobbies or start doing things after work with your extra free time, to definitely do that, but just don't go too hard like I've notoriously done in the past.
Okay. I watched a lot of Gossip Girl after I graduated. That was literally all I did every day.
Never watched Gossip Girl before.
I feel like you would love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It has Blake Lively in it, right?
Yes. And Leighton Meester.
Who?
Alright, so my second thing that you should know for after graduating college, and this honestly might be one of the more important ones, is to be patient. I know that it's easier said than done to be patient about anything, but your opportunity will come and you worked too hard for it not to. You just have to kind of believe in yourself and know that you never know when an opportunity will arise. So I thought it was so useful to just take 1 hour each day to scroll through LinkedIn and ZipRecruiter and Indeed and all of these job posting sites, not only to see what is out there, but also to learn that not everything is always what it seems, and there are a lot of companies who will kind of make positions sound better than it is.
That's like a huge thing. Even when I was looking for jobs, I would see one thing that was like literally the perfect job description. Like sometimes I think companies just put like what the ideal person that actually would want the job they were trying to show you would click on. And so I clicked on this job and it was like marketing coordinator, like literally anything I could ever want. And then I applied and I got a call like the next day and they were like, oh, you applied for blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't remember clicking on that. Like I know I applied for something, but it wasn't this. And then I realized like it was like one of those like, I don't know, I don't want to say like like schemes. I know they have like those more sales type jobs where sales isn't a scheme, but like
But if they're not marketing it as a sales position,
right, and then you
that's
find
probably
out,
how you know.
right, if they're not marketing it and then you find out that it is, like, don't do it.
Yeah.
That's definitely like a really good point to make, is just be careful when you're clicking on stuff like that, and if it seems like it's too good to be true and you saw one thing and it's another, just like find a new job description.
I was just talking with Whitney earlier about like sometimes a posting can go up and be taken down the next day
Yes.
because so many people have applied for it. So you don't want to miss out on those opportunities.
100%.
So it's good to fully take advantage of that time that you have to like go through and look at all your options.
I have an episode on how to find your first full-time job before graduating where I kind of go over some really cool tips. And one of my tips is to consistently keep looking, because it can go up one day and like be pulled down the next. So after you're done watching this video, if you want to see that, I will be linking to that video above and below, so go check it out.
You were like me, like I really struggled with the time after college because I didn't find a job for almost a year, and it kind of, I felt sad like all the time. I felt like I wasn't working towards anything. I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I found it especially hard because it's not like I graduated college and I was like, okay, I'm going into, for example, marketing. I'm just going to look at marketing careers. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I graduated with a communication degree and it was so broad and I loved it and I loved like the major itself, but I didn't know what I was looking for. So you want to focus on feeling like, okay, a job's going to come to me, a job that will benefit me and will help me network and will teach me a lot more than I ever thought I could learn in school. Like, you just want to believe that that's going to come to you, and that is how you get those things on top of working hard for them. I landed my dream job. It took almost a year, but it was from an internship that I did a year ago, and a position opened up there months later, and they remembered me and they reached out to me, and the connections I made there were so useful, and they brought me in for an interview, and that's how I got it. But if I wasn't patient, I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity to do something that I love, that I'm learning a lot, that is an amazing place to be every day.
Yay for finding your dream job. So my second thing that I think you should know now that you're graduating is to start or continue to network and build your personal brand. Hopefully at this point you have been networking, and if you haven't, you should start immediately, and I actually have a video about it and I'll be linking it above and below.
Connections make a huge difference. Like, sometimes people really do say that it's all about who you know and not...
It's not what you know, it's who you know. 100%.
But all my internships, I was really like dead set on making friends with the people around me and getting to know them, and it helped so much to go from internship to internship, first of all. And then once I graduated, people were like, oh, you should apply here and you should apply here, and I know this person, and I'll tell them that you're applying and that you put your resume in, and that is what sets you apart when hundreds of other college students are graduating and sending very similar resumes. So it's really important.
I agree. If you're like me and you happen to have a job lined up, you never know when you're going to want to make a move. So continuing to network can help you, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. So maybe a new opportunity comes up and they think of you just because you were networking, or if you want to make a change, you can start reaching out to these connections and say, hey, I'm in the market for a new job, do you know of anything available? In regards to personal branding, that's something I have always been huge on.
I personally wish that I had focused on it more, because
Yeah.
I don't really have like a personal brand. Like, Whitney is totally her own brand.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like just now I'm starting to realize that I should be like that as well. So
on a daily basis, I'm like, all right, this is the image I want to communicate to the public, especially when I was going from, I actually just like got to a point in my life when I was in school where I was like, I know that people and recruiters and hiring managers are looking on social media now to see like what you're posting. So let me give them something to actually look at. So that's when I really started my whole like personal branding thing. And I wasn't even like calling it personal branding. I was just saying, I want the hiring managers to have something to look at because I know they're searching for me. So I might as well curate it in a way that like would look nice and be received well by them. And then it turned into this whole thing of, okay, I'm going to be the marketer, and here's the colors and everything like that. So there's a real benefit to trying to find your personal brand and find your voice that you want to communicate on social media, because it's such a powerful medium and you can really reach anybody.
You can even think of personal branding as just always trying to put out your genuine best self.
Yeah.
And, you don't right now have to think about colors and, a consistent Instagram filter or anything like that, but just something where every time you are going into an interview or talking to someone new or going to a new network event, you're always putting out this consistent, higher self, genuinely trying to be your best, most motivated and confident person. And that is what attracts people to you, and that's what makes people want to talk to you more, and that's what makes you stand out in interviews.
I agree. I love that. All right, so what is your third tip?
So I am actually so passionate about this one, and my third tip is to figure out and start focusing on your side hustle, because it can be so easy to get consumed in the professional world and the job hunt and to be thinking I should be doing more and I'm not doing enough. But now you finally have time to do things that you didn't have time to do before. If you want to get into weightlifting, now's the time to start going to the gym. And if you want to run a marathon, start training. If you want to, get into photography, now's the time to, just go out and explore and start taking pictures. And you never know what your side hustle could become. It could become your career one day. I love writing, and looking back on that almost full year that I had, I wish I would have written more. I journaled a lot, but I wish I would have written creative pieces, and I was freelancing, but I didn't do any of that stuff because I didn't think of it, and I didn't have anyone to tell me hey, now is the time to spend your time doing this stuff that you love. I also think it's really important when you have this free time to learn how you work best. So kind of what I mean by that is I spent a lot of my time sleeping in. I just thought, I don't have to be to work till 2, I can sleep in. But really, I didn't find out until I got this job that I work so much better when I get up early in the mornings and I schedule my day and I take full advantage of all the time that I have. I get so much more done. I'm definitely a morning person now, and I was never a morning person before. And I feel if I had gotten into that schedule before I started working, it would be, first of all, easier to get up and get ready for work and be there on time every day. But also, I feel I would have accomplished a lot more in my job hunt and in interviewing. So Whitney knows what it's like to have a full-time job and make all these other side commitments and then realize that you don't have the time for them. And it's not that you're not passionate about them, but you are just exhausted from working your full-time job every day.
Yeah.
And so you have to take a step back and back out on commitments. And not that it's a bad thing, you have to do what's right for you, but if you start finding out what you're passionate about before then, it's a lot easier to know how you want to spend your valuable free time.
So my final tip for what you should be doing now that you're graduating is to take time to give back. So right before I was about to graduate, I actually met up with a friend of mine. She's a really good friend of mine. Her name is Natalie, and we met up to get coffee just to catch up. And as we were talking, she had graduated already, and now she had been working, and she was telling me everything that she was doing. But one of the things that she told me that really stood out was that she was volunteering, and that really resonated with me. And I was like, what are you doing? And she told me about how she was volunteering with this organization. But she wasn't doing it for any particular reason. Nobody was making her do it. She did it because she wanted to, and that was so inspiring to me, and it really made me want to give back as well. So I told myself, once I'm done with school and I'm graduated and I'm stable and I have this income, I'm gonna take the time to give back, because I knew by finding that full-time job I would feel really fortunate, because you hear all the time it's really hard to find a job after graduating, and it can be that way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are lucky, and because sometimes it really is luck, it's hit or miss, it can be luck, and if you are lucky and you do get that opportunity quickly or right away, I thought it was important to give back. I'm all about good in, good out. If you're fortunate in some way, you should definitely take that and be positive in some other way as well. Alright guys, those are the tips that we have for you today in regards to what you should be doing now that you're about to graduate. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it or you found it helpful, make sure you hit that big thumbs up button. Also, share this video with a friend who you also know is about to graduate or might be graduating within the next year.
So we try to come up with stuff that we wish people had told us when we were about to graduate. So we hope they were helpful, and if you have any of your own, please feel free to leave a comment. We would love to talk more about them and respond to those comments.
If you have a question that you want us to answer or that we can help in any way, definitely leave a comment below and let us know. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that big red beautiful subscribe button so that I can keep making content and we can keep talking about how you can survive college, secure the job you want, and kill it in your career. If you want to keep following me off of YouTube, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter as @keepupwithme.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter @mmorton.
Awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. That's it.
Okay.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun, actually.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to tell the people watching this video?
Subscribe, because I wish I had this channel when I was graduating.
Oh, thank you. Yes, make sure you subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos on the right so you can keep learning how I got 4 internships and a full-time job.